With sugar and spice and a roll of the dice, you're listening to The Dice Girls.
Hi, this is Ellie.
And Marco.
We're from Austria, and it's time for a table talk with the Dice Girls.
Never again. So I don't watch The Road.
I don't think I have one that I would unwatch. Like I said, I forget movies after I watch them, so
that works.
I've effectively already unwatched everything that I've already watched. Every movie is a new movie again. And that's not to say that there haven't been movies that I've watched that I didn't like. It's just that, I don't know. I guess if it was easy to get my 2 hours back, sure, but that's all right. I don't know. I'm kind of like Alexa, where I'm like I'm there for the ride. Sorry, I had to make sure I didn't activate my thing. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Is I'm there for the ride a trigger phrase for something in your house?
No, her name. Her name. Yeah.
Oh.
If I'm ever talking about the Dice Girls at home, sometimes I will refer to her as Kai, just so, because otherwise I'm looking over at the machine, are you gonna start something here?
And so she's talking about, well, I can say it because your devices can't hear it, but when Ash can't say Alexa in her house because it starts booting up her Alexa.
Yeah, she'll start playing music or something I don't want to, so, or Google something and I'm like, excuse me, why were you...
I didn't get that.
So
text to your mom.
Sometimes it'll just it'll hear the TV or it'll hear a TikTok I'm playing and start searching for something or be like, I don't know that, but here, let's look at these results. Leave me alone.
Wasn't there a commercial within the past couple of years that really took advantage of that? They had at the beginning of their commercial, hey Alexa, or something like that.
Oh my gosh, yes. So it was Burger King. And they
that sounds about right.
They did a commercial where I think it was it might have been Alexa or Siri or something, where they're it's this guy holding a burger, holding a Whopper, and he's like, "Hey Alexa, what's in a Whopper?" And then it would just start reading, people's machines would start reading the ingredients in a Whopper. But then the people found out that it was just reading off of Burger King's Wikipedia article about the Whopper. So people went in and started editing it. And, no. And it, the biggest one, I think the first one that it was the Burger King Whopper is comprised of Burger King foot lettuce and just listing a bunch of disgusting stuff, because I don't know if you guys know what Burger King foot lettuce is.
Yes.
Yes. You probably don't, Mom.
No.
So this, I don't know the whole backstory behind it, but there's just this picture of this guy who used to work at Burger King.
Standing in the lettuce. Yes. Yeah. I remember.
And so whenever that commercial aired, I think they caught on pretty quickly and they pulled the commercial. But for a little bit, people the commercial would come on and the device would just start reading Burger King foot lettuce, mold, fungus, everything that everything that the trolls put in.
That's awesome.
And I think that was the last attempt at a commercial like that.
Well, wasn't there one
Probably
also
smart.
Where they tried to do that and then it somehow interfered with a football game or something that was on and it was messing something up?
I haven't heard about that one.
I might be imagining it. Yeah, but I thought that was something that happened.
Yeah.
Probably.
Happened to Burger King.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I would unwatch Hereditary. Have either of you seen Hereditary?
I don't think so.
I would unwatch that one because there's this one scene where the mom is like bashing her head against the floor trying to get to her son. It's in that super fast speed. Oh yeah, it's
Is it a horror movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that
okay,
scene
I think
pops
I've been
into
warned.
my head.
I think I've been warned about that one.
That one. Unless you're okay, because there's some people that you wouldn't even think twice about it.
Right.
It wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a great one to watch while I was alone at night. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. You were gone. You were house sitting or something. I thought, I'm just gonna watch a scary movie. And it's like, well, after that, I couldn't sleep.
Right.
Why did I do that? Yeah. I don't know. But did you know what? Do you know what can help depression? Mine anyway. I don't
Scary movies?
Yeah, because if I'm if I'm sad, like I don't get like deep depression, so I don't know what that feels like, and I don't want to diminish that for anybody because I know it has to be horrible. But when I get like feeling dark and sad, whatever, if I watch a scary movie, the fear takes the place of the sadness, and then I can pull myself out of it. But then I'm scared.
Yeah.
You're just trading one bad feeling for another one.
Yeah.
But at least you have control and like at least you have a choice at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I'd rather be scared than depressed.
Depends. I mean, scared because I watched a scary movie. Okay, scared because something scary's happening. No.
Oh no, not real. Yeah. Someone's trying to get into your house or something like that. I have something to share with you that I saw on TikTok. I saw it a while ago, but I thought it was really interesting. There was a guy on TikTok. He's schizophrenic and he has a whole I don't know if he's still there or not, but he has a whole channel about things that he deals with as a schizophrenic. And he said one of the hardest things is not knowing whether something that he's looking at, if it's real, if it's really a person there talking to him, or is he, is it just in his head? So he found that if he takes out his phone to film, then if it's not real, the person won't show up in the phone, and then he can, go about his day. Yeah,
he came up on my For You page like a week ago or so, and I hadn't seen him.
Oh my gosh,
maybe a year. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, it's wild that you bring him up.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be really helpful. I don't know if anyone that listens has I don't think it would work for auditory hallucination. I'm not sure, but if you think you're hallucinating, if you have your phone, look at it through your phone or try to film it, and then that can tell you if it's real or not. And I don't know if that works for everybody, but it does work for him.
Right.
And there are a lot of people that had tried it that are like, oh my gosh, this works. So
that's really cool.
That is, yeah.
We were talking about scary stuff earlier and like scary movies, and I was gonna say like, now that I'm back here in Indiana and like I live out in the country, like there's space between the houses, and across the street there's the only lot is an empty cornfield. And like getting scared at night here is a completely different experience than like being in Page and thinking you heard a noise in your house at night, because like you can throw a rock in Page and there's 18 people. I could scream at the top of my lungs out here and nobody would hear me. Like, it's terrifying when I get scared.
Nope.
It's scary.
Oh, it could just be like a little breezy, like blowing the cornfield, and I'd be like, I'm done, I'm out. Like, that's a horror movie classic.
Yeah,
is the cornfield.
I probably watch Hereditary.
No, I'm thinking
does that one have a cornfield?
No. Yeah, that would be so scary. Wow.
Yeah, I struggle with horror movies enough as it is. I can't imagine being in like a spooky setting.
Are we making this worse for you, Becca?
No, not at all.
Because I don't want to pile on and go, oh my God, that's terrifying.
Right? No,
yeah.
My imagination already does that for me, so you're good. Talk away.
Okay.
No, it's a whole different level of being scared, I've realized since I came back.
Oh, hey, you know your basketball hoop mystery?
Yeah, my basketball hoop conspiracy theory.
Yes. Have you checked? Oh no, that wouldn't work. I was going to say check Google satellite images see.
We did, and there's only like a really newer one where the basketball hoop is where it is, and then there's a really old one before it was put in the first place.
Womp womp.
Wait.
What's happening?
Wait.
Dice Girls. Discussion. Wait, table talk? Really? Okay, well, I can get it.
Her computer went to sleep, and to wake it up, she hit the space bar, and it just auto-played Will's message.
From somewhere, I just started hearing Will speaking. It was like, what is going on?
That's hilarious. I think we did solve the basketball conspiracy theory, though, that you mentioned it, because
Did you?
Like, last time we talked about it, I said I had like one picture of our basketball hoop, and it's like kind of a close-up, and you can't tell which side of the driveway it's on. But my friend Rachel, the last time she was here, I showed her that picture, and we went outside and we stood like at the same angle of the picture, and there's no possible way that like the house would have been at the angle it was in the background, and like the sticker on the pole is facing a completely different direction like than it would have been. And so like we're pretty sure that we figured out it did used to be on the other side, like just based on where the picture was taken. It's impossible for it to have been taken where the basketball hoop is now.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just clear that from my head because I think about that. Surprisingly, I think about that a lot. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Marcus solved the basketball hoop used to be in the other spot.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
Sure.
I will probably be able to sleep tonight.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
So, do you have time to play a quick game?
Always.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
You got anywhere to go, Alexa?
I do not. I'm off tonight, man.
You're off tonight. That's great. Are you
nice.
awake enough?
I'll do my best.
So this game, I don't know how this is going to go or how it's going to work, but this game is called Excuses. And so one person asks another person, hey, like, why were you late? Why didn't you take out the trash? And then that person has to come up with the best excuse for why they didn't do it. So I just thought it would be kind of fun to try with us since I really missed playing games. I missed the, being
improv.
Creative and improv and stuff like that. And so Ash, yesterday when I was in town, I didn't want to bring this up because it's kind of awkward, but I saw you running out of the bank with a bag full of money, and there was like money flying out, and you were looking behind you running. Can you kind of clear that up for me? What was going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what happened was, the bank asked me to help them transfer some money, to another bank. And, I forgot to drive that day. So I had to do it on foot. I had to hoof it across town with these bags of money to transfer to a totally unrelated bank. And the reason that I was running was because, when I went in there, there was a suspicious looking man in the line, and he was covered in a trench coat, and he was standing kind of funny, and I'm like, what's up with this guy, you know? Turns out it was 3 raccoons in a trench coat, and it spooked me. So they started screeching in some sort of however raccoons screech, and it spooked me, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm gonna bounce.
Well, I mean, I kind of get where you're going with this, but I also happened to see sitting at the curb in a car, Alexa was behind the wheel and Becca was in the passenger seat, and she had a weapon, and you were running towards the car. Alexa, Becca, can you?
Yeah. So I was the one who put the raccoons in the trench coat, and I sent them into the bank. They were, I didn't know that today was Ashley's big day of transferring the money. And Becca and I had planned this really cool prank on the bank.
Yeah, it wasn't a real weapon that you saw me have. It was like one of those prop knives where when you stab someone with it, the knife blade retracts and it's just plastic. It was just totally, yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to go viral on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
By, sending the raccoons in. But we kind of ruined Ashley's. It was this huge gig that she'd been talking about for a couple weeks. It's just I'm doing the bank walk, I'm so excited. And we're like, oh my gosh, you'll have to let us know when that is so we don't send the raccoons in at the same time. But then
they moved my date.
Wires got crossed. Yeah. And
they moved me up.
We feel real bad.
Yeah.
But
it was a total
Ashley
accident.
did it. She did what she set out to do. We didn't ruin it, which we were glad about, because the raccoons, it was pretty funny.
And the reason that the money was flying out of the bags as Ashley was running from the bank is because she was supposed to have 2 more bags, but then there were some really quick thinking employees who were like, oh my god, these raccoons, we have to catch them. And so they just started piling all the money they could into the smaller bags to have empty ones so they could throw it over the raccoons' heads and catch them and get them under control. And so Ashley didn't have enough space in all her bags for all the money to make the transfer. And so that's why it was just flying willy-nilly everywhere.
That's true.
Okay,
yes.
So Ash, how were you chosen for this job? Was there an interview?
Yeah.
How did it go? Tell us about it.
The guy that interviewed me looked suspiciously like 3 raccoons in a trench coat. But we carried on. We carried on anyways. He asked me if I had any cash handling experience. I said yes. He asked me if I'd walked before, and I said yes. And it turns out those were the only 2 criteria. So they just hired me on the spot.
So why didn't they use an armored car?
Armored cars that day were in the car wash. They have armored car washing day. It's once a month, and they all of them get sent at once.
That was the day.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to.
Unfortunately,
they had to bump up my date, and it just so happened to be the armored car wash day. So. Oh, what was weird was that after the interview, and he said that I was hired, he started eating out of the trash can in the office.
Yeah, Becca and I really tried to train that behavior out, but that's the raccoon's natural state of being. So we didn't get quite as we had such a short timeline on this. We had to execute it pretty quickly, and we didn't have the time to really work with them on that.
Yeah. Where did you get the 3 raccoons and a trench coat that would fit the raccoons?
Etsy.
I brought the raccoons with me back from Indiana.
Yeah, I got the trench coat off Etsy. Becca got the raccoons from Indiana.
Is there like a raccoon store, or did you just go out in the cornfield and...
Yeah, so you know how in True Value stores they have baby chicks, and then there's a time of the year where you can go in and you can just buy baby chicks. Here in Indiana, they have raccoon season where you can go into the stores and they just have this big box and it's full of little tiny baby raccoons and trash, so the raccoons have something to eat. And then it's just like the baby chicks, you can scoop up some raccoons and take them home with you.
Now, do they color?
Wow.
Do they color the raccoons?
Yes. Yeah. They color code them.
Can you repeat that?
Oh,
Ash.
I asked if they colored the raccoons the way that they color baby chicks, like they'll I don't know if they spray paint them or how they'll be pink or blue or baby chicks.
Right.
Yeah.
They do color code the raccoons, but instead it's a 3-point scale of how mischievous they are. And so the green raccoons are really calm and docile, and they're more trainable. And then the yellow raccoons, they're middle of the road. They'll steal your socks every once in a while, but they're not gonna wreck your house. And then the red raccoons, those are fully the feral will eat your face raccoons. Don't buy those.
Which kind did you get?
One of each.
Oh, clearly. Yeah. That's, yeah.
To balance them out.
Yeah. Because
the one that hired Ashley was the green one.
Yes, yeah, we needed one who could, be the face of the operation, he could, do most of the talking, and we needed someone who was willing to take risks, not do anything stupid. But it's a dangerous job, pranking the bank. We didn't want them to go too far. So we had the yellow guy in the middle, he was the arms. And then we put the red raccoon on the bottom because we could count on him to start booking it if it went terribly wrong, but we needed him, he had to hold on to the raccoon on top of him so his arms weren't free. And we knew that, okay, we can count on him to run fast, but where he is, he can't cause too much trouble. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you, while you were out there, did you see Ash go into the bank?
I think she was already in there, when we sent the raccoons in. Because if we had seen her go in, then we would have pulled the operation,
Okay.
We wouldn't have run through it, because then we would have been like, oh my gosh, it's Ash. Yeah.
They were behind me in line.
It's Ash's spank day. Yeah.
So you and Becca were in the car. Who was filming this for TikTok?
We had a bank teller on the inside.
Yeah.
We had made an arrangement beforehand. We know one of the tellers personally, and she said she had access to all the security tapes. Actually, so we have the only copy of the security tape from the bank that day. Luckily enough.
We got plenty of angles, tons of, point of views.
Evidence.
Okay.
Yes.
Evidence.
Yeah.
So when you posted it on TikTok, what were your hashtags that you...
Hashtag raccoon goals.
Yeah.
Hashtag trash can, not trash can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag prank. Social experiment.
So when you buy...
Hashtag entrepreneur. No.
Yeah. When you buy a raccoon of each color, it's called a stoplight. So it was hashtag buy a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
Just the standard ones. Just the normal, everyday.
Hashtag FYP. Yeah, you know.
So, Ash, when you got to the other bank and you just walk in with this big bag of cash, how did that transaction take place?
Everything went fine and absolutely nothing happened.
Really? Are you still doing this? Because I'd like to be there to watch this.
It was a one-time gig, so I'd have to get another interview to, you know. I hear that it's easier to get hired on again, you know, once you've done it. Once you've got that in your in your portfolio, on your resume.
On your resume.
Yeah. But you know, it's a it's a position that's in high demand. A lot of people are after it, so they have to hire apparently per gig.
This is your one shot, kid. Don't waste it.
Yeah. And so I kind of feel like maybe I was set up, you know, to not get the next gig, because I mean, it's awfully suspicious that they moved my date to the date that the raccoon prank happened, and it's also a little suspicious that I was possibly interviewed by the raccoons. So I'm wondering if that bank teller on the inside maybe had something else up her sleeve.
The bank teller's a raccoon.
The bank teller is also a raccoon.
Surprise! There's a secret for surprise raccoon. Yeah.
That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
I like that. That was so fun.
that was fun.
Okay, here's something. I don't have the exact dates, so like this could be way more interesting, but I'll maybe look up the dates in a minute here. But I saw a TikTok the other day that like laid out the timeline of George Washington and like when he was born and kind of his whole life, and then when he died, and then like a couple years later, or so many years later, is when the very first dinosaur fossil was discovered. And so the TikTok user pointed out that George Washington never knew about dinosaurs.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
He went his whole life never knew about dinosaurs because they didn't even discover them until after he had passed.
Oh my gosh, so when he was a kid, he didn't have like dinosaur jammies or anything.
Nope.
Wow. Nope. I thought you were gonna say that George Washington was the dinosaur that they found.
They're putting together.
The first dinosaur fossil was George Washington.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't they just, or maybe it wasn't just, but didn't they find out that like they assembled the bones incorrectly, and like I think it was Brontosaurus never actually existed, or like it didn't look the way that we thought that it did. I want to say, yeah. I want to say that's a thing.
I'll have to message Dr. Alan Titus. He's the paleontologist.
Yes.
No way.
I think he lives in Kanab, but he
does.
Okay. Yeah, so I could message him and just say, "Hey, word on the street."
Word on the street.
Brontosaurus isn't real.
Right?
Right.
Can you ask him a question for me? Can you ask him like what he thinks dinosaurs look like? Just like his personal opinion, because I know I've seen things like, I'm not explaining myself at all yet, but like if you look at the skeleton of, say, like, I don't know, some kind of like pelican or a bird or something, the skeleton looks nothing like what the actual bird, you would never guess. You would never be able to connect the two.
Right.
And so since all we really have to go off of is the dinosaur's bone structures, like there's a lot of like different theories about, you know, what they looked like. And I want to know like what his personal opinion, like what he thinks dinosaurs might have looked like.
Yeah.
When they create the artist renditions, it's like they're wrapping the muscle like around the bone. And like a lot of animals, their bodies don't work like that. You know, their muscles don't perfectly follow like where the the bone structure is, and so it's kind of just like they like cling wrapped, around the skeleton where they think the muscles might be and everything. So dinosaurs might look completely different to what we've been shown on our lives.
Especially because things like fat deposits, they don't, you don't know, like some animals, they carry more fat in their stomachs, or some animals, like, I don't know. So, like, where did the dinosaurs carry their fat? Because when you're, like Alexa was saying, when you're looking at dinosaur, it's the leanest version of a dinosaur that could ever exist, because, like, they don't know where to put the fat. And so, like, I think it'd be really cool to see just, like, I don't know, a bunch of tubby little dinosaurs running around.
For some reason, my mind instantly went to, like a neck pouch or something, like a frog.
Right?
Yeah.
They could.
Yeah.
Or like a marsupial, like a kangaroo pouch. Like, like what if T-Rexes had kangaroo pouches? They just carried their little baby T-Rexes. I love that.
That would be so cute.
Oh, what if, like, I guess I never thought about, like, how dinosaurs might have raised their young. I wonder if there was one that, like, carried its babies on its back like a possum does, or, like...
Oh. I hope so.
You just got, so like, cute. These tiny sharp claws, like, digging into the back of
Right.
Yes. No, I love that. Like, we have what if they have just, like, waddles?
Yeah.
Like chickens?
Yeah.
Or roosters?
What was it? The Land Before Time, right? The dinosaur movies?
Yeah.
It's not a documentary, not not accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if it is, I want to try a tree star.
Oh, heck yeah.
What's a tree star?
It's the, like, really yummy leaf from Land Before Time that all the dinosaurs, all the herbivore dinosaurs, they loved. It was, like, the most delicious, and this animated movie made it look like a leaf I would absolutely eat.
Right. Should we just...
I could do Baldur's Gate names?
Oh, yeah, Alexa, do you have Baldur's Gate character names?
I do. We'll do 5 more. Okay. We got some good ones. Okay. So we got Dirtwood. He's a dwarf.
Dirtwood.
That's good. Ruffian Ormo.
Is a what?
Human.
A human, okay.
Dilgar Sneeze is a gnome, but it's Sneese.
Oh.
Sneeze?
Dilgar.
Sneeze? Yeah, Dilgar. And then Smiley Geef. He's a human. And then we got Phoebes Splayfoot.
Oh, I like that.
Halfling, yeah.
Interesting.
What was
Splayfoot?
What was the first one again?
Dirtwood.
Dirtwood.
Yeah.
He's got to be on the. He's got to be on the spin-off podcast with Living Large Timbo.
Yes. Well, Living Large Timbo and Dirtwood show.
Yeah,
that was a mouthful.
I like Ruffian Ormo, as if you can call him Ruffian or you can call him Mo.
Right?
Ruffian Ormo.
Yeah.
Either one.
It's like my actual name is Mo, but nobody calls me that, so I guess you can call me Ruffian Ormo.
Ruffian.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote a song.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I wrote a song.
Oh, boy.
Well, you might have already heard it because I've been practicing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm learning Spanish. I've been learning Spanish for a year and a half, something like that. So, I'm trying to get to the point where I'm more fluent. So I thought if I start writing songs, might help. So, okay, so this will be fun for anyone who's listening who's actually speaks Spanish.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
No.
¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? How's that?
That was something.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Love it. That was great.
Yeah. Isn't Donde está like how are you or
where is
the library?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, spoilers.
It's funny because like anytime I have taken Spanish of any kind, that's one of the first things that they teach you is Donde está la biblioteca. It's like, when would I ever be asking that? Because I don't speak Spanish enough to be able to read the books.
In the library, yeah.
In the library.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a Spanish to English dictionary and you're hoping to find one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good point.
Good call.
Does anybody else have any songs that they've written that they want to sing? Because this is your platform.
Nope, not recently.
Can't say I've been writing any songs recently, unfortunately. Now I kind of wish I had, I mean...
I know.
Well, okay, so next episode,
I shouldn't have said anything.
Out of you three...
I would like to withdraw myself from consideration.
Okay, so Alexa's a hard no. I know Becca's a yes, right? You would do it.
How about I'll write a poem. I'll write a poem for next time.
Okay, write a poem. We'll have Poet's Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote a poem that I wouldn't mind sharing it right now. It's called Ode to a Light Switch. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Thank you.
That was beautiful. How long did that take you to write?
It was just a couple of hours because I got the idea when I went to go turn on the light switch. And I thought, that's such a common thing that we all do, but it's such an intrinsic part of our lives that I wanted to celebrate it. And I thought, I need to write an ode to a light switch. And the rest just kind of fell into place.
I see.
I do love those little moments in life where like something mundane just turns into poetry. Like, I really do actually really appreciate those moments a lot.
Me too. Don't you, Alexa? Yeah.
She's like, that's definitely a thing that happens.
I can't say that a lot of my mundane moments turn into poetry, but I do spend probably too much time thinking about like the lives of my inanimate objects, not necessarily turning it into poetry, but especially like if I have to throw something away.
Yeah.
Then I feel like guilty that I'm putting this thing in the trash and it lived its life with me and it didn't get to like go see the world or anything. I'm just putting it in the dirt, or like things that have to look at me every day, like my chair that has to put up with me sitting on it all day, or
wow, you think about that, huh?
I kind of do because I feel bad. I get it though. I got one thing that's been coming up for me often has been my socks. I've been all at once. My socks have all had like a hole in them because they all came from the same pack, I guess. So every time I end up with a new sock with a hole in it, I mean, at first I'm like, well, but the rest of the sock is still good. I can still hold on to you for a little while, right? You know, but like, I'm just kidding myself. And actually, like, it's, you know, it's time for that sock to go. So, so I say goodbye. I say goodbye to my socks when I throw them away. I'm like, thank you.
That's so cute.
Thank you, sock.
That is cute.
Aww.
You know, and if I can, like, if I just threw away a sock and then I just found another sock that needs to be thrown away, I'll make sure they go in the same trash can so they can be together.
Yeah.
Oh. That's great.
That makes perfect sense.
I know there's a lot of people that feel like that. Mm-hmm. You definitely feel like
I
that.
anthropomorphize a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, same.
It doesn't happen so much at my job now, but when I worked at Ace in the paint department, like in the back, like in our like warehouse section, the paint was stacked 3 high on the shelves because they're big shelves. But on the shelves, like in the aisle, they're only stacked 2 high. And so I would feel really guilty. I'm like, these 3 paint cans have been sitting here together for maybe a month, maybe 2 months. But now to put them out onto the shelves, I have to separate them. And 2 of them get to stay together, and it's just one guy who's going to be by himself with a paint bucket he's never met before, you know? He's got to... and then I try to make myself feel better because I'm like, well, maybe, like, new friendships, you know?
Yeah.
It's sad that I'm breaking up this trio, but maybe this guy can make a new friend. But then I'm also like, what if they hate each other?
Well, there's levels.
And I'm like, or like, what if it's just super awkward and they don't really know, they don't form a connection, and it's just like, well, now I'm stuck with this guy until somebody buys me, you know? So that was a rough one for me.
I had a similar dilemma recently when I was buying cookies. And there was like 2 rows of cookies, and I couldn't buy one of the rows had only 2 left, and then the other row was still like had several, and I couldn't take from the one that only had 2 left because I didn't want one of them to be alone. Even though the rows are right next to each other, like
what? Oh my god! Wow.
I do the same things. I do the same exact things. Like with my pillows that have been together have to stay together, and the one that's on the top always has to be on the top, and the one that's on the bottom, that's just what they're used to. Like, I'm not gonna make them fluff in a whole new way.
Yes,
they have to stay together. When you were talking about the paints, Alexa, I feel like I feel like my thing in the paint department would be like if there were colors or something that like didn't get bought as often, I would feel bad for them, and I would like put them at the front and be like, oh, you guys come up here, like that way someone will see you and buy you and take you home, like or if I'm like in a store, if I'm like buying a like figurine or something like that, I feel bad. I'm like, I'm sorry I'm taking you away from all your friends, but now you get to come and live with me, like say bye to everybody. Just like things have feelings in my head.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Same.
Do you think it's because of all the movies we watched growing up where like everything was anthropomorphized, or however you say it?
Probably.
I mean, I feel like that would like play a part in it, you know, because you did you have a lot of anthropomorphized objects in your movies and TV shows growing up?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up because I don't. Because ours was mostly like fairy tale,
right? Because you don't really do that, do you?
No, I don't.
We had like
and
Toy
it surprises
Story
me.
and like the Brave Little Toaster.
Brave Little Toaster.
Timmy the Tooth.
That's
Timmy the Tooth.
Oh, I never saw that one, but just Brave Little Toaster. As soon as he started talking about movies that have anthropomorphized objects, I was like, oh, that's a movie that I don't remember, but I have the feeling that I don't want to watch it again. Even though I know that I loved it, but I remember it was traumatizing.
Yeah. And like everything talked. All the animals always talked in movies. Like inanimate objects were we had Clippy.
Yeah.
Right.
We had like the little paper clip that had eyeballs and feelings and was like, let me help you do a task.
Yeah.
Right? I see you're trying to write a letter. So, okay, so that's just with like paint and cookies and stuff like that. What if it actually has a face like a stuffed animal? Is it like a stronger?
It's like
Becca's
alive.
eyes just got really huge. Oh, she was frozen
alive.
for a minute. Just okay. So,
hello, am I unfrozen?
you're unfrozen.
No, teddy stuffed animals are fully like conscious and they can talk. They like in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, maybe not. Not for like real, but like I treat them as if they
right
are fellow people.
And that's that's how I feel about the inanimate objects and stuff too. It's like obviously this isn't going to complain. Yeah. Or whatever. Right. But just like with the stuffed animals, it's like, but if it does, then I'm doing the right thing. I guess.
Yes.
Right.
And like and and I can't leave a stuffed animal like toppled over or something. I have to sit him back up, or I with stuffed animals it's like 10 times stronger.
Yeah.
They have a face.
Yeah.
They have a face. So if I took this package of googly eyes that I have now and I started putting googly eyes on everything, my life would be a mess because everything would have a face.
Yep.
Everything would have a face.
To pile all of my stuffed animals on my bed at night because I didn't want any of them to be on the ground.
Yes.
That would suck.
Yeah.
And then you take them off me in the middle of the night because I had too many of them.
I had no idea.
And it's like, now most of them are on the floor, cold ground, not in the warmth and comfort of my bed.
Yeah, I would have never done that if I would have realized. I just thought I was just trying to make you more comfortable, give you a little bit more room, but that was really, I didn't think that through very well. That's okay.
Oh man.
Maybe it's a holdover from childhood when like I used to like playing by myself and playing pretend. My stuffed animals would have adventures and stuff. So yeah, they would all need to stay on the bed at night. And if anybody fell off the bed, then you feel bad, like that one.
You felt bad, yeah.
Yes, yeah, like that one got left behind or something, and had to be cold and alone all night, and that feeling like never went away, I guess. Like I just still apply that. Philosophy. It grew. It grew, and now it's cookies and paint and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And technology specifically too, like a printer or like the Xbox, like I named my iPod. My iPod has a name, like I thank my iPod when it plays a good song. Her name is Sylvia, and that's how I had listened to music in my car. And if she plays a good song, I'm like, oh my god, Sylvia, this is a banger. Thank you so much. I'm like, if I skip a song, I literally say it out loud. If I skip a song, I'll be like, oh, that's not quite the vibe I'm looking for, Sylv. What do you got for me? Like, I literally talk to my iPod. like she's my friend. She's my friend who brings the music.
That's incredible.
I mean, that's. I guess I don't name everything, but just like the Roomba, like. Before I was just like, he's just trying his best. He's just doing what he can. Like, I feel for the guy. He's just doing his job and he's doing the best that he can, even though he can't see and he just spins in circles sometimes. Like, you do, little buddy, like.
Right? Like, you know what, little Roomba? I spin in circles sometimes too. It's okay.
For real.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you know, I don't bring my A game every day to work, you know? Sometimes you have a rough day.
Yeah, you gotta empathize with the little guys.
He gets it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have to do the show and tell. So should we wrap up now so we can get that in too?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining. How do you want to end this? Do you want to say something cool?
I think our outro should be like every single outro should be how we like our discussion of so how are we gonna do this? Because every single time we've recorded, we've been like, so how are we gonna end this? And then I think that should be our outro.
Just cold end.
Yeah, how do we end this? Cut.